All right. Nice. Welcome back.
How y'all doing?
Happy Zelda Day for everyone who celebrates.
Happy weird Thursday Zelda Day.
Thursday Zelda Day, special Thursday edition of Zelda. Maybe it was a thing where it's like, hey, it's Zelda gets to be the protagonist, so we'll do her on a different day.
Yeah,
She gets Thursdays.
Zelda
Link
or
gets.
Thursday is now known as Zelda Day.
Yep. Not surprised. What's been going on with you, John? I haven't talked to you in a couple weeks.
Life is being life.
Oh yeah.
That's about it. We had a friend visiting last week, so that was nice. Got to hang out with her, chat
Cool.
with her a bit,
Nice.
and then oh right, you probably wouldn't know this. We've been keeping the cat inside permanently.
You had said that like a while ago, and then it seemed like you had changed your mind. So
Yeah,
like I'm kind of lost track of whether the cat's allowed in or out. It
this
seems to go
the
back and forth.
it might change again in a couple weeks. Who the fuck knows? But we had a scare with him where he got beat up by another cat. He had
Mhm.
like a bunch of welts and stuff on his face, so we had to bring him to the vet to get some of them drained. And then after that, they did blood work on him, and they found traces of feline leukemia. So since that's so
Oh God.
contagious, we're like, oh fuck, he's never allowed to go out ever again. He can't be around another cat. Then we found out a couple days later they sent it off to another lab, and the lab did a more detailed result and said it was a false positive. So
Okay. Well, that's scary, but I guess that's good.
yeah, it's been a couple weeks. It's been a couple weeks. So we've been keeping him inside because we gave him his booster, and it won't be fully effective till 4 weeks. So
Okay.
we're basically at a point where we want to keep him in permanently, but he is making our lives hell right now. He will not stop screaming at all hours. Like none of us are getting sleep or getting woken up early in the morning. It's just a shit show right now. So
Damn.
we're hoping he will calm down. We give him some calming meds every now and then, but like we're just hoping he just finally relaxes and just stops.
I guess I didn't really think about cat specific cancer like ever,
Yeah.
but I mean, sure, right? Like, of course, that would make sense. Does like, does like most animals get their own string of cancer? Is there horse cancer?
I don't
Probably a
know.
thing, right?
Feline
I don't know. I
leukemia
just
and feline AIDS are for sure a thing, but I don't know about the other animals.
Yeah, I just never really thought about that. Okay. Is that in any way contagious to humans, or you're just fine? Like, are you at risk?
No, so we can't get
Okay.
feline leukemia, thankfully, and we can't get feline AIDS. Cats do transmit a couple things to people. Like I know pregnant women cannot touch like cat poop because there's some disease they can get.
Okay. And there's also the like cat worm brain thing, right? That like makes you like cats more or something like that. Isn't that a thing?
That is a thing, but I don't remember what causes that.
Yeah, I don't know either. Cats are weird, man.
Yeah. So it's been a fun couple of weeks.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, by the way, no Paul this week. He's out of town.
He's
Hopefully,
in
he has
chat
having
though.
fun. Oh, he's in the chat. Damn, dude, should be on the show.
He,
Let's get you
I
in here.
assume he didn't bring his computer. He's probably just on his phone.
Just stream you in on the phone. It's
Oh my god.
2024. We can do this. We can make this happen. Oh, it's good. Hopefully he's having fun. Hopefully it's a fun trip or something. I have no idea. Last weekend I went and saw the new Transformers movie, and
How was it?
it's a fun time. I
Nice.
liked it. Yeah. I
Did,
mean it's pretty predictable.
it's a
Although
Transformers movie, so
the people I was seeing it with didn't seem to know like anything about Transformers. So when like when the person who, and this is in the trailers, becomes like Megatron, they were like, wait, why are you freaking out about this guy? And I was like, don't you know who that's about to be? And they're like, I don't know, is that Optimus? And I was like, Optimus? That's Chris Hemsworth is Optimus. What are you talking about? So it was kind of weird watching Transformers with someone who I just had no idea.
I mean that's fair.
It
But
was a
like
good
it
time.
is an origin story, so I kind of get it.
Paul says he can call in. Let's do it
Oh
from
my
the
god.
phone. Get in here, dude. Origin story. It is an origin story. I think it looks really good, and I think it's just a fun time. But don't go in there expecting like anything great or surprising. You know exactly what's gonna happen in that movie. So, all right, top down perspective. Let's talk about some video games now. September 26th. Sean Booker.
John Wheeler. was waiting for Paul for a split second, then I realized nope.
Yeah, maybe Paul will show up. Who knows? Fun surprise. We'll find out later. John, you got a big old list. What have you been playing?
Sure do. Now I think some of these might have been mentioned offhand, like Astrobot. I finished 100% a couple weeks ago.
We did pass along your message last week.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. My clear time is a bit fucked up because the cat routinely made me walk, and he's here.
Hey, yeah, it's Paul. I think he's from the phone, isn't he? Although it looks like he's muted.
Oh, we're in different order because.
We're doing this live.
Oh boy.
What? Hello? Can you
Hell
hear
yeah.
me?
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Well, just chime in whenever you can, I guess, Paul. You were saying Astrobot. Did you get the platinum?
I did get the platinum. I even went back and platinumed Astro's game room because apparently I hadn't done that.
Playroom. Okay. Yeah, I don't have the platinum in Playroom, but I do in Astrobot now.
They actually made it so that there's extra ones you can get for Astrobot in Astro's Playroom, but they're like some insane puzzles. Sorry, I'm also trying to fix everything else here. So I enjoyed that.
What was the hardest stage?
The
last one?
secret final stage, yeah. Easily.
Okay, for the 301 bot.
Where is my? That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that one took me a bit. I don't know if that was the one I had the hardest time on, but that one was definitely difficult for sure.
Some people were saying stages they found hard and difficult. I'm like, I don't remember the names of any of these. You're gonna have to physically show me what you're referring to because I just do not remember.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great game. I think we've both, or Paul and I have both said, I'd be surprised if there are 10 better games that come out this year than that. What do you think?
I think it's definitely gonna make
a list.
Yeah, easily.
A list. Yeah,
so
one
too.
of them.
One singular list. Sorry, I'm a little distracted trying to fix everyone's names because we all end up in different spots. We're aesthetically in the right spots, but...
Sorry, if you want me to jump out, it's fine.
I mean, Paul hasn't even said anything, so this might not even work, and he's just gonna leave, and then you're gonna have to like put it back or something.
I got a rigging. This is starting to work. It's just taking a hot minute. So
okay.
I've been playing through Final Fantasy Mystic Quest for game clearing. We are 1 hour away from finishing the game, roughly.
Okay, cool.
So that's been fun to play. It's been a little weird, I guess, because it's a Final Fantasy game where you only have 2 party members, as in you and your party member, and status effects are awful in that game. Very often, if you get hit by Confusion or Petrify or Doom, you're just done, no matter what, because they're not going to be able to get the other person back in time. So it's been weird playing through that and having nonsense stuff like that happen. But it's otherwise been fine.
When did this come out, like, between what and what?
Final Fantasy IV had already been out, for reference.
So it's okay. So it's between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, weird decision making there, but it is what it is.
Is the main character's name Benjamin?
Apparently, I named him Mr. Stabby. So.
Sure. Fair enough.
So that's been all right. We're almost done that because I wanted an RPG that was fairly short, and most SNES RPGs are pretty short.
Okay.
I think we've only been... Yeah, that was the 3rd stream, I think, of it. So that was about 12, 13 hours total clocked.
It's pretty sizable.
I decided to actually use my analog pocket for once, and so I played through the Addams Family Pugsley's Scavenger Hunt because I had done the previous Addams Family on Game Boy for game clearing, and it was okay. But this one, less okay. There is no music in the game unless you die, the title screen, or beat the game. So,
It seems like a bug.
No, that's how they designed the game. They couldn't do both fluid gameplay and music, apparently, so they just turned off the music.
Weird.
It's okay. It's a remake of the SNES Addams Family game, which is like a weird platformer, but in that one you're playing as Gomez. In this one you're playing as Pugsley. But it's otherwise the exact same.
Do they play differently?
Plays about the same.
Okay.
A lot of secrets are in the same places. The bosses are the same. It's just a weird reskin, which is like toned down a bit. They made an NES version as well, which is also the same game, but there's a bit more to it. It's okay. Like, this is a trimmed down version of the NES version, basically. That
Fair
was
enough.
okay and didn't take too long to beat, a couple hours. Yesterday I played the Metaphor ReFantazio demo. It sounds like you did as
Okay,
well.
so yeah, so I've been playing the full game, but I can't talk about that. I'm assuming that now I can talk about what's in the demo. I don't know what's in the demo though, so can you
The
tell me?
demo is the first couple hours of the game.
Like, did you finish the demo?
No, because it's 5 hours plus, I think.
Okay, so well, I'm trying to think where that would be because a few hours can.
Yeah.
So
Like
how far did you get?
I got to the part where your party of 3 gets back in their normal clothing. I was heading back to the main town.
Okay, and by party of 3, you mean Stole and the old guy?
Gaius, yeah, stolen Gaius.
Okay, okay.
But here's the weird thing. Now, the company that gave me the promo sheet gave me specific instructions that they wanted me to not spoil anything about the game. And to specify how they didn't want me to spoil the game, they made a list of every spoiler in the story.
Yeah, I mean that kind of does. That's review guides are kind of like that as well.
Yeah, it's just funny to see it like, don't bring up this character's fate, that this person joins your party, etc. I'm like, okay, you're just spoiling the entire game for me then. Cool, neat.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's like sometimes for sure. So you might actually know more spoilers than I do because I don't think my review guide mentioned that.
I
It was more
tried
just
not
like,
to read them as best I could, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was primarily like, don't talk about anything that happens after, this date in the calendar. And I was like, barely even know what that means at this point. So,
Yeah.
but okay, I really don't know what part you got to. Did you go to the? So okay, you have 3 party members. So you went to like the
I killed
fortress and you fought
the first boss.
Yeah, and then you're down in like the mines.
I was on my
or
way to the mine
cave?
when I stopped, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Now I know where you were then. So what do you think? Like, we can talk about this one.
Hang on, I'm trying to fix this.
I'll jump in. Like, I think it's like, it looks so stylish, especially the menus and everything.
Does.
Like, this is definitely a Persona. You can tell it's the Persona team.
You
they
can
know
100%
stylish.
tell it's the Persona team. It is so much the Persona team.
Yeah. If they know anything, it's like stylish UI. Absolutely. I think it's the same, like, encounter music every time. Maybe the bosses are different, but definitely the like regular enemies is the same battle music, and I'm pretty tired of that myself.
I don't know, I'm used to it because
Other than that, though,
it's that.
so for those who don't know, the main way the combat works is that the class system. Any character can be any class that you find, and then you kind of transform into them when you do a special attack. But what's cooler about that though is that similar to like Bravely Default is you can unlock like skills and then kind of use other classes' skills as you mix and match them around. So that part's pretty cool. So I do like the combat. I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I liked a lot about it, and I will likely try to play more of it because I'm always down for like one big RPG per year.
Sure.
But yeah, no, it's funny seeing them do a fantasy game and it feeling basically still like a Persona game. It's funny how much that DNA is still in there no matter what.
It is. I mean, mechanically, yeah, it is not like high schoolers in a Japanese high school or anything like that. It is, like you said, fantasy, medieval eras, but it is still like a day system, which you probably didn't even get to any of that stuff yet, where you're doing stuff during the day. It's using up time. Yeah, because that's the first town which you're not at yet.
No, I didn't get
I don't know if I can talk about that. I should
Fair.
really Google when does the demo end.
Maybe. I mean, the game's out the 11th, so. Or you mean where the actual demo itself content was?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I can't talk about anything that's not in the demo, and I don't know what's in the demo.
Fair. Like I said, I was doing it for 2 hours, but based on the way I play and like looking all the side stuff, it probably was an hour and a half worth of progress. What else did I put on this list? UFO 50. I got to play for a bit.
Oh yeah, let's talk
I've
about
been
that.
wanting to get to this. This thing sounds so cool.
It is basically Action 52 for the NES if it was much better made. It's got a number. It's got 50 games in it. They're all varying quality. They're from different eras of time, but like the genres could be newer because I think one of them is actually straight up like a clicker or an idle game.
Yeah, Pilot something.
Quest.
I think it's what it's called. So people are recommending start that one first.
That makes sense. Yeah. Also, I know that some of the games interact with each other. Like Pilot Quest runs in the background because it's an idle game, and I know there's like a garden game that connects to the other ones somehow. You get items for them, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, but I only played a couple games of it because we did on stream yesterday. So we did the starting game, like number 1 in the game, which is like a PC DOS based like Metroidvania sort of. It's like an adventure game where you gotta go around a maze, like dodge all these enemies and stuff like that, and you go in doorways trying to find items in progress. That one seemed neat. I played Hellfist, I think is what it's called. It's literally just like a River City Ransom style beat 'em up, but it is very difficult. One thing I've noticed and had other people tell me is that the games are very difficult, and I can see that from the few I played.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's the concept is this is a fake game console. Like it never existed, but here's 50 games from that game console, or I don't know if they're all the games or whatever. And you can kind of see over the chronology it like them getting better at developing for the games, and some of the games even get sequels. And this was a handful of developers, like 6 or something, including Mossmouth, the developer behind Splunky. And this game has been in development for quite a while.
Yeah, I've heard years. Paul, we heard you earlier. Have you said anything since?
Hey, you said you could hear Paul earlier? I couldn't hear him.
I heard him, but now I don't hear him at all if he's talking.
Switch to my work laptop.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay.
Why can't I hear Paul? What is going on?
It's just the usual computer issue you have for some reason.
Oh, weird.
Okay, I'm gonna. So if I leave and come back, is that gonna break things for you?
It'll pop away for a second, then when you join back, it'll slap in the right spots.
All right, I'm gonna try to do that real quick.
Do I sound okay at least to you?
Okay, I can hear Paul now.
You sound fine to me. You're a little quiet, but I mean that's just because you're using a different microphone. So you're golden.
Yeah.
How's it going, Paul?
Please tell me now he can't hear you. That'd be funny. Paul, did you hear Sean just then?
He's just.
Sean, I can't hear.
Oh my god, he sounds awful. I have to. Does he just have like the worst internet connection? Are you in a cave?
He's probably in like his parents' house with like laptop Wi-Fi, so it's probably low speed and everything.
I'll jump out. I'll just watch.
Okay. Doing it live, folks. That's the fun of doing it live. Good to talk to you, Paul. We're talking about UFO 50. Oh, okay. So you played a handful. What's your favorite one you played so far?
There's 2 I really like. There was one that seems to be a Metroidvania, but you also flip the gravity. So like you'll double jump and then you'll be walking on the ceiling. You'll then do it again to walk on the ground. So it plays like a mix of Metal Storm and I guess Metroid. But I actually really like that one a lot. I didn't get to finish it, but that one at least also lets you continue and resume it later, which is great.
Nice.
It also had a cool mechanic where you get your suit upgrades, but the suit upgrades can be plugged into different parts of your weapon system. So you can plug it into your body, you can plug it into your head, or plug it into your gun. The gun one obviously changes your shots. The body will give you like different effects, like you're heat resistant now, and the head one will have some other effect, and I don't remember what it was. I think it was like if I double jump, like flames shoot out my sides. Like it was actually really neat. I like that a lot.
That is cool. I have heard, like, pretty much everyone I've heard talk about this game has said on at least a few of them, they wish this was like a full game. They would love to see like this game totally like blown out to like full scale and stuff.
Yeah. The one that we ended up playing the most was House Party, I think is what it's called. It's like number 25 on the list. House Party is basically...
It's like a card game, right?
Aesthetically, it's a card game. Like visually, it's like you're literally hosting a party and you have to keep inviting people, but they show up randomly. So it's basically a deck builder. But you can keep expanding your house to give yourself more slots. There's all these different types of people you can invite into your group, and they all have different skills, or they just give you different currencies because there's popularity and cash. But the game ends by you needing to have 4 aliens appear at the same time in your house party, and that can be tricky to
Obviously.
do. It depends. So it was cool. I really liked it a lot. So I'll probably, when I play a bit more UFO 50, I'll probably mess around with that one more.
Also heard good things about Warp Tank. I don't know if you played that one.
I have not played Warp Tank, no.
That one, so look forward to that one. And I can't remember the other one.
Someone
But a
told
lot
me
of people were playing
Seaside
it.
Drive is also really good.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one.
That's like one of the last ones on the list. It's like 48 or 47.
It's kind of awesome that I'm hearing so many different ones are like the standout ones. Like, this is cool. I want to play it so much, but like I already have like a lot I'm playing right now, and just
Yeah.
the idea of like, oh, here's 50 games. Here's
Some
50 more to add on
some
your
of them are
pile.
surprisingly surprisingly for
Yeah.
the collection. So yeah, I
You
can
should
definitely
just
see
grab
that.
a list of the ones that like people recommend, I think.
But even then,
And
I've
then
heard
do
like
it.
20 different games recommended.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think there's like 5 I would recommend currently, and Warp Tank is definitely one of them. That game is amazing.
Okay, so Paul, you're playing UFO 50?
I am, yeah. I was playing a bunch last night. So I started going in order, and then Homer told me, like, hey, you need to do Pilot Quest. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
why? It's not like number 44 or something out of 50. And I was going in order, and I'm glad he told me because, yeah, it's a clicker. So, like, as you're playing other games, you're getting resources in it, and it's like, why wouldn't this be like number 3 or something on their list? This is just rude.
Well, it
But
depends
whatever.
when it was developed in this fake timeline. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like,
pretty late in the timeline.
I
I
know.
think it goes with like 89 from 82. So
Yeah,
and I do also understand that there is kind of a meta layer, kind of
there is.
explaining what happened to this like game developer, console manufacturer. So that's really cool too.
That thing seems like if you wanted to complete it, you would drive yourself insane because there's like a way to do like a gold trophy basically on each game, and there's a way to beat each game. It kind of like not challenge, but maybe an achievement sort of idea for each game, and like a garden thing for each game, which is like do a certain thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. And some of those games are incredibly rude. Like
yeah,
it just there's this Bushido blade. It's Windjammers,
Right.
but that holy shit. What
I
I
know. I
don't
was
know
watching you
who
play that last
programmed
night when
that,
we
but they're
raided, and
rude.
holy shit.
Yeah, it just got worse and worse. Every opponent's like, oh, this guy now basically just can't like be beat. I can't get it past him at all. Like, what the fuck? But it's cool. Yeah, that thing is very neat.
I understand it runs great on Steam Deck, so that's a bonus.
I
Oh
mean, they're
yeah,
It's
all
the first
basically
game
NES
that I
games.
really
So.
want a Steam Deck for, honestly.
like just finished doing their like 25% off sale. You missed it.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I'll wait for like a revision at this point, but like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Might as well.
yeah.
yeah. So I enjoyed that a lot. I'm gonna dig back into it later at some point. I played through the Shredder's Revenge DLC, which basically just added 2 new characters and remixed the soundtrack. Soundtracks and remixes are very good. Mona Lisa and Mondo Gecko are fun to play as.
Okay.
And that game still holds up. That's still fun to play.
I'm familiar with Mondo Gecko
Yep.
as the Paul Rudd character from the recent movie.
Yep.
I'm not familiar with Mona Lisa. She's also a lizard, it looked like?
Yes, she's a lizard. She was in, I think, 1 episode of the original cartoon. She's shown up a bunch in the comics, though, but her design is based off the original cartoon.
Okay.
I think she was a college student that got mutated into a gecko or a lizard. So
Oh, like she was a human first.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't everyone else an animal that got
Yes.
humanoid?
well, except
Okay.
for Splinter. Splinter was also human turned into a rat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That depends on the continuity, but yeah.
Okay,
usually,
that's what I would. It always seems like he has different origin stuff.
Yeah, usually it's either he was like someone's pet, or he was a rat turned into a human, or he
Right,
was a human
okay.
turned into a rat. So
He's whatever they need him to be, I guess.
basically,
All right.
so that was still fun to play. Today I did sponsored segment for Athena Crisis, and that is some
Okay.
Advance Wars ass Advance Wars.
So you're into it?
Yeah, it was already fun to play. It has some story beats in the middle of the game like usual, but the catch is like it's multiverse stuff. So one stage I was fighting like an army and I had to find snipers, and then in the middle of the stage I found a T-Rex that was trying to kill me. So
Okay,
it's
sure.
fun little like jumping around between times and metaverses like that. It's actually really neat. It
Nice.
has online multiplayer up to 7 people, 8, and you can also use items that boost your team, but open up your game to be invaded by people.
Oh,
So
okay.
genuinely, like you can be playing a story mode stage, use an item, and then someone could jump in as another army and just completely mess up your game.
That's cool. Did you do that to anyone?
I only played for an hour, so I went through the
Okay.
tutorial and then I went through a couple other maps.
That's cool though.
Parking garage rally circuit. I ended up playing that today.
I was watching you do that before the show.
Yeah, no, that's fun. That's a Sega Saturn racing game, arcade racing game right there. Definitely wants you to drift a ton because you get
Yep.
boosts like in Mario Kart, but then like you can chain the boost together so you stay longer in that speed and everything. It's really neat. I liked it a lot.
Nice. I mean, definitely Saturn visuals for sure.
Yeah,
Looks good. Good music. I was enjoying that.
definitely. It was a ska soundtrack, a really good one.
Nice.
Shadow the Ninja Reborn. I've been playing this in my spare time and also on stream yesterday. It's one of the remakes done by Natsume Atari. So they previously did Wild Guns Reloaded, the the Ninja Saviors, Return of the Ninja Warriors, something like that. It's like some name like that.
And
Uh,
Pocky and Rocky.
Pocket Rocket Reshrined and this is probably the weakest of the 4, honestly.
Wow, I completely disagree, but fair enough. Go on.
Ooh, what makes you disagree? I'm curious. My problem is that some of the
They-
controls are garbage.
yeah, that's fair. It's because it's an actual remake and not just a kind of like upscaled port, primarily.
I mean, to be fair, only 2 of them were that. Pocket Rocky is a new game.
Yeah, the other two though were literally just redoing that game, so like porting it, which is fine. But I don't know. I think the game is good. I also so my problem is I started playing it as I can't remember the girl ninja's name, and she's terrible. Her jump is bad.
Oh,
The other
is
you
that
were
it? I
playing as
didn't
her
think there's
too,
big
right?
differences between the 2. Shit.
Yeah. So the reason I found that out is because I started playing as the main dude. I was like, okay, this is fine or whatever. The next time I went to it, I was like, I want to play as her, and I couldn't get past this one jump in the sewer level or whatever
Oh.
that was fine before, and I was like, wait a minute, is their jump different? Sure enough, her jump is awful. It's fucking terrible.
Does the guy have a helicopter move?
I don't remember, to be
Because
honest
the
with you.
girl does. If you jump
Mm.
and hold down and mash jump, you'll literally helicopter across places. It lets you cover a lot of distance, but her default jump sucks.
Oh, like yes, there's like a spin you can do in the air to delay and then go a little further with him.
Yeah,
Maybe hers is better,
hers might be better.
probably.
I haven't played as Hayate yet. I played as Kaede, I think her name is.
Yeah, Kaide, that's right.
So
Yeah, no,
I'm
I
on
had a
stage 4.
awful time with her.
No, my biggest gripe is the inventory system.
Sure, yeah, it's messy at best.
So for reference's sake, you can pick up to 7 items and keep them in your inventory. And to switch it on and use the item, you have to tap R1. But if you want to switch between the items and pick a different one in your inventory, you have to hold R1 and then tap left or right on the D-pad.
So this is a thing that as a Monster Hunter player is inherently ingrained in me with no
Fair.
issue. That's how they do that. So
But-
but yes, it's weird.
Yeah, but this is the thing that bothers me. Both triggers aren't being used. You could just
Right.
map it to the triggers.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you can't even like move and do this. You can't even do it in midair. You have to be standing perfectly still in a game that has a lot of people running towards you, or like a lot of projectiles in the way. So it's like a weird decision that adds more difficulty than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I like the collecting of the items. I like that there's like hidden ones you can find, and they all have like these different effects. Like I found a railgun. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then like the
It's pretty great just shooting a dude with a shotgun as a ninja.
They're all a little slow to use, which kind of bugs me. Well, I guess mainly
Yeah.
the guns, but yeah. They're like it's neat. I like it, but I do feel like it's weakest of the 4.
Fair.
And I know that Ninja Warriors and Wild Guns didn't add much. They added a couple extra stages and mainly extra characters. But yeah, no, I appreciated those more. And Pocky Rocky was fun, but also stupidly difficult. And this just feels difficult and clunky because of the controls. But by the sounds of it, I should go play as Hayate and try out, because apparently...
Yeah,
they
try it
control
out. See, it because it feels like he was like he just feels normal, where she felt bad. So,
Yeah, maybe
but
that's
like
gonna
it
be the big
doesn't fix
difference
the
then.
inventory issue. Yeah,
And last but not least, Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster.
I
All
can't
right.
stop playing this game. I have a problem.
I am so surprised at how much faster you level up in that version.
Yeah.
It's great.
I
It's
know, I
so
love it too.
good.
Don't get me wrong, I love that part. But like,
Yeah,
I did a playthrough of the original version like a month or two before this came out, and I compared. I
yeah.
At the point that I started the story, I think that's what it was, or like saved like my first couple survivors. Oh no, I know what it was. I had finally dealt with the photo dude I always hate.
Kent.
Kent. I dealt with Kent. I did his first mission. I looked at my
Yeah,
VOD. I was level 3, maybe had just gotten to level 4 because of the mission.
yeah.
In Dead Rising Digital Remaster, I was at level 10.
If by the time you start that game, like, and like when you find Jeff, like, actually started on the rooftop, you're not
Yeah.
level 5. You fucked up in the remaster. Like, it's so fast.
Yeah, I think I was level 4 after like the photography section, like where you actually
It's
land on the helicopter
crazy.
pads. It's insane.
Yeah.
It is insane. But it's great because you
So, Paul,
definitely get into the whole thing faster. And I found out my favorite thing, and this was my biggest complaint with Dead Rising 1. I'm glad they did it. Uh, survival mode.
Yeah.
You can speed up time, and you can make
Yeah.
a quick save. So no more red ring bullshit, or no more having to stay there for 12 hours.
It's
You,
so good.
this is gonna be the first time I might actually give a genuine try to survivor mode because I'm just like I'm not spending 12 hours playing a game, but 2 or 3 I can do.
Yeah, for sure. I think you can do the 7-day achievement or whatever in like an hour and a half, depending if you have
That's
enough food items.
that is insane.
It's, I mean, honestly, it's the way it should have been.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Honestly,
yeah,
it should have.
I definitely
yeah,
remember having friends back in like high school going for that achievement, and they were just like barricading themselves in like a bathroom
Yeah, that's
and
what you
like
do. You collect a
do
bunch of food items and then wait out time.
yeah, and then they were
yep.
just like eating pizza and playing like board games in like real life as the clock went over.
I know way too many people that had their system red ring when they were doing that. So I'm just like, I'm good. I'm never gonna touch that.
Sure. Paul, how much have you been playing of this game then?
I think I have 16 to 20 hours in it right now.
Jeez, how many runs have you done at that point?
I've done one full one, and then I started like a challenge one where I'm just doing specific things to unlock stuff.
You're doing the Mega
And
Buster run then, basically.
yeah, so my biggest problem with this is, have you been in the maintenance tunnels in this game yet?
Yeah, there's less zombies.
There's less zombies and it's unoptimized as shit. It's like the worst part of this remaster, which sucks because it's like I don't I don't know how long this is going to take to do the zombie genocide now, because it was like what 2 to 3 hours before. It might be up to like 4 or 5 now. It's
Ugh.
bad. Yeah, so I don't know that I want to, but we'll see. Because I've done a few runs through there. It's like the most I think I've got ever was like 8,000. It's like this is gross. I should have double this by now.
Yeah, I think it's because they didn't want the Buster. They thought the Buster was too easy to access if you did that. I guess it's my assumption.
Maybe, yeah.
So I asked Paul this last time, but John, if they were gonna make a new one, you want them to go back to like 1-2 style, or do you want it to be 3-4 style? What are your thoughts? Because you've
Well,
played, I think, more than Dead Rising than us two have.
I've played the entire series.
Yeah,
The only one I haven't played is the Wii port of Dead Rising 1, Chop to a Drop.
heaven forbid.
Uh, See, this is tricky because I love that Dead Rising 2 gave the combining weapons, and I love that it added into player online co-op.
Yeah.
Right.
Three story was not nearly as interesting, but it had a much more open world, and 4 also kind of had a pretty open world at times. I'm torn. I think you can take both and kind of make a best of both worlds situation. But if I had to pick, probably Dead Rising 2 style a bit more. I don't want that Zombrex shit to worry about unless it's like a small mission. I don't want to worry about getting currency to buy shit. But I'm otherwise
Want
fine
the
with
timer?
that kind of stuff. I like the timer, but I also didn't hate that Dead Rising 4 didn't have the timer.
Because I was saying the timer makes Dead Rising unique, and they
Yeah.
took it away to make it just like an action game.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I do agree. It makes it unique. I think 3 went a little too far. They gave you like a week to get through the game or something like that. And Dead Rising 1 and 2 were 72 hours and then overtime mode. So, and then
Right.
4, you just took your time, and then the DLC, which you had to get to finish this freaking story, had brought the timing back.
Okay.
So I'd say keep the timer. Maybe be a tiny bit more lenient than 1 and 2 were, but you don't have to go too ham on it. I think 3 was too far in the other direction. But I also played
Got it.
3 co-op, and that made it a breeze because you could all go to separate areas, and one guy could do a mission while the other does something else.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah, I'd say a fusion of 2 and 3.
All right. That's all you played?
That's the giant ass list I've played. Yes.
Nice. Paul, what have you been playing that you haven't talked about yet?
That I haven't talked about with John, nothing. It's just similar stuff.
Okay. I got a couple more things on my list. The first is I've played through all of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown's story DLC, Mask of Darkness. This is probably like 3 to 4 hours in length. I really liked it specifically because as I was loading into the game, I was like, man, I completely forget how this dude moves, all the special like traversal abilities, like there was like warping and throwing the bow and then warping to the bow and stuff, and I was like, oh crap, this is not going to be good. The DLC strips everything away from you and you start back at square one. Thank God, I loved that. Trying to think if that, in fact, if you get any upgrades, and I don't think you get any new powers. It is just you have the jump and the dash, which you start with in the main game as well. You have the bow, um, and it's just more like area. A bit, like the new mechanics are like the area. So there's these like bounce pads and these kind of like you have to break all these things before on like a timer and stuff like that before dying. So that was good because I was able to just kind of start fresh, having forgotten everything. And there's not even a lot of boss fights. There's like two. There's one near the beginning, which is not very difficult, and then there's one at the very end. And by then, I've remembered how to fight and how to dodge and stuff. So I really liked and appreciated that, and I would recommend it if people want to get back to that game for sure. And then I've been playing Zelda, and I've only put about an hour into it, so I can't talk too much about it. I'm sure we will talk all of us a bunch next week. As John, you were saying you just picked it up. Paul, have you played any Zelda yet?
No, I don't know if I'm going to right away.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I put an hour into it. Um, it looks real good. As far as my memory goes, this is what Link's Awakening looks like, but I am kind of curious if anyone's done like a side-by-side comparison to show if this one looks any better or if they just kind of reused some of those assets and whatnot. Um, it is cool. Every time you defeat a new enemy, you can like absorb them into your wand and then use that enemy in fights. So I'm liking that, and I'm also just liking, you'll come across there's like a chest up on a cliff, and it's like, I wonder if I can get that, and then you just start stacking beds as you slowly like make this weird staircase up the cliff, and that's totally viable.
Is there a
So that's
limit
cool.
to how many you can summon at once?
It seems to be three. You can summon three items. Um, but a lot of the times, once you summon that fourth one and the first one goes away, they'll kind of like fall into like place in a way that it's like, okay, I still have the height I had or stuff like that. And oh, now I'm this high, so I can summon like a taller item and then stand on top of that, and then I can get rid of all the ones I just summoned because I'm already up here. So by combining different ones, you can still kind of traverse things pretty easily and stuff. So it's with the enemies though, I think you can only summon one at a time. So you can't just kind of make like an army of dudes all fighting. As soon as you make a second one, the first one disappears. But that's cool too, because there's some enemies that just kind of like you summon them and they kind of just launch themselves forward. So you almost have kind of like a gun where it's like, all right, snake, 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 and you'll just like keep launching a singular snake at a dude until he's dead. And so that's fun as well. Um, it's cool. I'm really looking forward to like seeing kind of the puzzles they put in front of me because it seems like you have a lot of options, but it's not like Tears of the Kingdom where it's like you can just build a crazy contraption and literally do anything if you put your mind to it. It's a lot more constricted and kind of honed in a bit, which I think will do a bit more for me in terms of enjoyment. So looking forward to getting to more of that, and we will definitely talk more about that next week because I'm sure we will all have, or at least John will have probably played some of it.
I probably won't be here next week, but yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. Just me.
No one
talking about
talks
it
about it.
Yep. All right. With that, let's do some news. There was a state of play this week.
Oh yeah.
Did anyone watch it?
No. I think I tuned in at the very end when the final game was revealed.
Hey, that was the best part. But Paul, did you watch the state of play?
Wasn't
Take that
letting
as
me
a
unmute. Yes, I did.
okay. Okay. Um. Well, Paul, you probably don't have like the links in front of you, but based off your memory, or actually, are you in this doc? You are in this doc. Okay. Uh, what jumped out at you?
I mean, the big thing is Legacy of Kain 1 and 2. Fuck yeah, let's fucking go. There's no good way to play those right now. Hell yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any interest on your side for that, John? Legacy of Soul Reaver.
I never played any of the games in the series. I've always heard good things, but never played any of them.
Okay.
So I
I
might
bet they
check.
Paul, you're
still play
excited?
like ass.
What'd you say, Paul?
I bet they still play like ass, honestly. I bet they
Probably.
didn't update the controls at all.
I've never played these. I know a lot of people online are excited about these ones though, and this was leaked like the morning of. This was like the one thing that leaked early.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's funny.
Um, John, do you want to call anything out or the last game or anything?
Yeah, like I said, none of the other games, what I read, caught my eye. But the last game looked pretty good. So
Yeah,
they
of course.
announced Ghost of Yotei, the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And it takes place, I
Excitement
think,
levels
100
at
years later.
maximum. Yep.
I'm so excited. Yep.
So excited. God, I love that first game so much. Just like let's go. Like I don't even care. Let's do it. It looks like another one of those games. I'm so in. That was my game of the year that year. Very excited.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna call out the Fortnite DualSense 5 controller. This thing looks like trash.
Well, I feel bad because I
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like the aesthetic, but not enough to buy it.
Oh, really? You do like it? I
It
hate
reminded
it.
me of that Astrobot controller a little bit.
What? The Astrobot controller looks awesome.
Hang on,
What about that
let me look
indigo,
at this
though?
again.
Holy shit.
Okay,
That
actually,
indigo stuff is great.
okay. So Paul, so that's the Chroma collection. They
Yeah.
3 new colors for the standard PS5 with the controllers. There's an indigo, which is like a darkish blue. There's pearl, which I guess is kind of a whitish, and then there's a green one too, which I cannot remember the name. And this
It's probably
article is
Emerald or
not.
something like that. I'm loading it up now.
It's not in this doc that I were looking at, unfortunately. But yes, those did look good. Oh wait, no, here we go.
Chroma
Place for
Indigo, Chroma Teal, Chroma Pearl.
deal. Okay, no, that was not the right trailer I was looking for.
You know what?
Anyway,
Yeah, okay. I see the Fortnite controller again now. I thought it was a bit more colorful than that. Yeah, no, that's kind of grossish.
um, I'm gonna actually call one out, not just dunk on one. Alan Wake 2 expansion, The Lake House. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
Next month. Let's go. Let's do it.
Absolutely. And it was a control, getting the bureau in there. Like it doesn't even matter what they. Of course, I'm gonna play this thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the other one for me, well, there's two more. The
Okay.
other one that I know you won't call out at all is Hell Is Us. Looks great. Horror-ish, Souls-like. I'm in.
Okay. Sure. I'll call it the first thing. More Astrobot DLC, free DLC coming next month. New
Yep.
stages, 2 new bots. I think it was or 10 bots. Something's
10.
10.
10
something,
bots, like a
and
new
then,
time trial mode or something like that.
yeah, and the bots are Hell Divers and Stellar Blade.
And the Midnight Walk looks great too, from
It
the
does.
Lost in Random devs, I guess.
Oh, is it? I thought it was Lost. I
Yeah.
don't think it is. Are you sure? Oh, it
I
even says
think
creators
the
Lost in
creators of
Random.
Lost in Random. Yep,
That's interesting. Yeah,
Moonhood.
when I was looking at the trailer, I thought that as well, and I looked up Moonhood Studios, and they didn't mention like any games, so I assumed this was their first one.
Hmm.
So
Is it
that's a
possible
weird.
that the people that made Lost in Random left and then like did their own thing? Because like, why would they say the creators of Lost in Random?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I
Weird.
really don't know, but it did
Yeah. Okay.
definitely look cool. Um, yeah, that was about it. Maybe you guys have more interest. The Lunar games, the remastered
I've been wanting
collection.
to
Oh, I
play the
forgot that got
Lunar games
announced.
forever, but I haven't. So this is cool one day to do.
Yeah, a lot of people I know were excited about this because a lot of my friends grew up on the Lunar series, so they're
Okay.
freaking pumped.
Right.
And it looks like it's getting a retranslation too, because some people did not like the original English translation, which is fair because it was Design Works. I can't remember their full name, but they tended to lean a little edgy in their translations. So
I'm gonna call out the Horizon Zero Dawn remastered specifically because I'm not gonna go back and play this. What is
My
that?
phone's
that's
blowing
his
up for
phone
some
vibrating.
reason. Yep.
Um, Specifically because I've been seeing some of the like comparisons and I don't think it looks better. But also the reason I did want to point it out is that they advertised if you owned the original game, it is a $10 upgrade to get this remastered. And if you don't own the original game, just today they doubled the price of it.
What? Oh, of the original
So
game.
so until like this morning, you could buy the original game for about $20 American. And then so when this came out, you could basically get the remastered for $30. $20 plus the $10. They doubled the price. It is now $40 as of today. So you're looking at $50 if you want the remastered if you did not own the game, which is just kind of like cool move, PlayStation. That was a weird. You didn't have to do that, but
I mean, they didn't have the
you
remake
did.
Horizon either. Horizon still looked good.
Yeah, there's also that. That's like a whole separate thing. They also definitely did not need to remake Horizon.
I get that they get a chance to release it on a different time slot and maybe not have to compete against something stupid, but they're apparently releasing on the same day as Dragon Age.
Yeah, I saw that. They can never escape it.
They just
And
have to
Dragon
pick.
Age is so good.
They have to pick a Sunday. Pick a freaking Sunday or something.
Yeah, they could. Like Thursday. Nintendo just put a game out on Thursday. You could do it. It's possible. Anyway, okay. Next news story over here. Ubisoft. This was kind of an interesting one. So, a little context. I was supposed to go see Assassin's Creed Shadows today. Get a big long demo of it at Ubisoft. I was supposed to do that. I reached out to get some information a bit more about it last week, and they informed me, oh, we're canceling those previews. Fast forward a little bit to earlier this week, they started canceling all previews of the game, which is kind of odd. I was assuming they must have found some kind of like mid to large size bug, and they were not comfortable risking a bunch of press mentioning it during the previews if they came across it. It continues. Ubisoft announced that they're pulling out of TGS at the last second.
What?
For those who don't know, Tokyo Game Show is happening like right now. So they were going to have a stream. They canceled that. They're not having an appearance no longer at TGS. Last second pulled out. And then I think it was as of yesterday, they delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows to February 14th. This is the first ever Assassin's Creed mainline title that is not releasing in the fall.
I mean, if it plays better.
Yeah, I'm on that point. Like, delay the games. I got too many games to play. UFO 50 came out. Apparently, I got 50 more games I need to play.
Yeah.
I am all for delays. I think what's kind of interesting about this one is how late this is happening. This was supposed to come out in like mid-November, so less than 2 months away.
That's usually when they come out. Yeah.
Yeah. Their rationale was pretty much just they want to give it a polished pass. It was also kind of revealed in their like investor meeting. It seems like Star Wars Outlaws getting kind of a mild sales number, or the way they put it, did not meet sales expectations. Who knows what that exactly means? Is also kind of the cause for this. Is they were like, well, now we need to kind of double down on making sure Shadows sells a ton. We cannot put it out in whatever state it currently is.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have thoughts on that, Paul?
Just insert quote everybody says bad game is bad forever, good or blah blah blah. Yeah. I'm with you. I have way too much to care about right now to care about this, honestly.
And February might be a good time with a lot less traffic in it. So,
You say that. I was just about to remind everyone, there's a lot of games coming out in February. February is like the secret, like, busiest month that isn't in the fall. Because as of right now, Monster Hunter Wilds is that month. I'm trying to remember. There was like 5 big games. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, Wilds is going to take over like that whole quarter probably, so it doesn't matter.
Civ 7 is that month. Avowed is also that month. And now Assassin's Creed Shadows is that month. So that's a packed. That's going to be a packed month for sure.
Oh, is the
Yeah.
Yakuza Pirate game coming out that same date? Oh no.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
new
that's right.
Yakuza game is also that month. Kind of a smaller one, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is that month as well. So it is but I guess you probably have to for like the financial quarter and stuff. So,
Yeah.
but hey, maybe now's the time for me to play Mirage in celebration of Assassin's Creed Shadows getting delayed. I will start up Mirage. No, that's not true.
Yeah,
But
so when
Finally
you
coming.
get to February and it releases, you just don't want to touch it, not even remotely.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, last story. This is definitely a smaller one. So Tokyo Game Show is happening. Xbox had a stream. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys didn't watch this because it was at 3 a.m. Pacific time.
Definitely wouldn't have seen it.
Yep. I also don't think there was like huge news out of here. There was some kind of fun Game Pass editions. StarCraft 1 and 2 is coming to Game Pass
Nice.
in a month or 2 months, November 5th. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection got added to Xbox, and then 2 of the Mana games got added to Game Pass that day, which is pretty exciting. I think that was kind of like it for like big news out of there. Yeah, I'm just going through this. There wasn't much, but anyway. There you go. All right. That's news. Let's do some questions. Well, people are talking about the Quest announcements in the chat.
Yeah, so the Quest 3S got announced apparently yesterday. I thought for some reason a while back. And it's like, what, $100 cheaper than the standard Quest 3? It's like $200 US?
Yeah, so I can tell you all
Wow.
about the Quest. I edited the video for CNET. They got announced yesterday. The Quest 3S is their budget headset, so it's closer to the Quest 2. So if you're like VR interested, you might be interested in the Quest 3S. If you're like heavy into it, then I understand the Quest 3 is kind of your go-to one, and there's a price difference there as well. $300, I believe, the 3S.
I think it
that was
depends because
about
there's
it.
two price points depending on how much memory you wanted.
And how much memory you want. I think it's $100 difference. I
Yeah.
believe the Batman Arkham Shadow game comes bundled with every 3S you purchased. There's also something out there. But yeah, that was announced at the Meta Connect yesterday, which is Meta's VR, AR summit or whatever you call it. All right, now we'll do some questions. TopDownPerspective@gmail.com. At TDP Podcast on Twitter, and I guess Blue Sky, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box are all ways you can send questions in. And you could sound like this first quiz that I'll do because I have the info up on Discord from VGC Kenny. He says, you guys have gotten a lot of questions over the years, so I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to give you 5 answers to video game related questions, and you have to tell me the questions.
Oh my god.
I guess these are questions we've had.
This is Jeopardy.
Looking at these, I don't think any of us are going to get it, but we might be able to kind of get in the ballpark.
Okay.
All right, first one. The answer is Undertale. What was the question?
The repeated game of the year we had every year.
Oh, that's a good one. What do you think,
Yeah.
Paul?
I was gonna go similar and say, what game got the most game of the year, either nominations or things from different outlets.
Okay, and I'm gonna say just to try and to spread our net a little wider, game where the fans are kind of weird.
That's not narrowing it down that much. It also could be related to the trophy I still have. So it could be what game did you literally get a trophy for?
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, these might not be questions that we've been gotten. Now that I'm looking at this answer, what game did Matt Pat give to the Pope?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this is
Okay.
this is way harder then.
So
Okay.
think more like Jeopardy then, like almost trivia or something. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Less memey.
there's 5, so we got 4 more to go. Mario teaches typing.
First game to feature Martinet's voice. That doesn't sound right.
Worst selling Mario game.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I have no idea. Let's see what it is. What is the first game that Charles Martinet played Mario? John got it.
I thought it was Mario Fundamentals, so I'm surprised that it was teaches typing.
All right, number 3 just says cutter.
Pass. I have no idea what that even means.
What is a Mega Man? No,
I was
because
gonna
that
say
would be
that sounds like
Cutman.
Cutman's ability, but oh no,
Oh
Cutter. It's
yeah.
probably Kirby related, so it's probably what weapon does Sir Kibble give you or something like that,
Oh
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
or like what's the first power you get in like some specific Kirby game.
What copy ability appears in the most Kirby games?
Oh, the
Ah, okay,
most.
so I was on the right
Okay.
track.
Yep.
Or $5.5 million.
No idea.
This is
No,
gonna be
yeah,
the
I don't.
development budget of some game or like some movie, but that doesn't really narrow it down.
5.5 million. Yeah, I don't know what that. That would be a development budget. Yeah, I don't know. Let's
Yeah,
see.
but like GTA's is like stupidly high, so it wouldn't be that.
Yeah, I mean the GTA's get in the hundreds of millions of stuff.
Yeah.
How much money did Bloodstained raise in its Kickstarter?
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right, last one. The answer, like the spoiler thing here, is like twice as long as the last ones. I'm just gonna say that.
Mm.
The hint here is Aggron. I think is a Pokemon.
That is a Pokemon. So it's either what's the most common Pokemon you run into in like Pokemon Go, or it's like what like rock type Pokemon was introduced in like some specific gen or something like that.
I
All?
legitimately have no guess. I have no
Yeah, I have
idea.
no idea. Okay. Which Pokemon is the only Pokemon that has a dual type normally become it has a dual type normally becomes a single type when it mega evolves? All right.
Yeah, that's
Well,
that's
thanks.
pretty
Wow.
granular.
Yep.
All
That's the
right.
end of that one.
Okay.
Jack0304 writes, "What's a game you'd love to play again for the first time, and what's a mechanic or plot point that, if added or removed from that game, would sour your opinion of the game? For example, Super Metroid with no space jump upgrade
Chrono Trigger, easily. That's always my answer. It's Chrono Trigger.
for the
As
first
So
for
time."
how'd you ruin it?
you could ruin it by taking out one of the major plot elements, like the time egg or the Chrono Trigger moment.
Making it too linear, I think, like where there isn't the option to like do certain things, I think would ruin that game a decent amount.
Yeah,
What if you what if it's permadeath for the characters?
that would definitely suck because it's pretty easy to die
Yeah.
in that game.
Yep. Game allowed to play a game for the first time. Ghost Trick. Actually, I'm not gonna do that because I like just play to that. How about 999? How could you ruin it?
Reveal there's actually 10, 10, 10.
Yeah.
I was thinking you could ruin it if they took out the branching narrative. That would ruin it. So
Yeah.
you would see like one playthrough. And that's it. Like one of the paths.
I'll say Mega Man X, and you can ruin it by not allowing you to use other weapons other than the Mega
You
Buster.
can ruin it by giving you no dash.
Yeah, for real. That game is so slow without a dash.
I feel like playing through a Mega Man game using only the Mega Buster, that would be like a challenge thing that
That's
should
usually a
be in like
challenge
all
run,
of
yeah.
them.
Every single Mega
Yeah.
Man person plays through every one of those games at some point with the Buster only. See how
Okay.
far they get before they go crazy.
Heaper Lanterns. Oh, sorry. No, Sukusuku says, "What is your favorite video game that you would never want to play again?"
Ooh, interesting. Okay. So I'm trying to think like what's the headspace for you wanting to do this? Like because there's like two ways you can think about this. You loved your memory of it, you never want to touch it, or you had such a bad time, but just by definition, this is still your favorite one for all these games you hate.
My answer is probably like a long ass JRPG. Like I like
Yeah.
Persona 5, but I don't think I'm ever gonna play through that again. I liked Final Fantasy 10. I don't think I'm ever gonna play through it again. I liked.
That's a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could say almost every RPG.
Yeah.
I could definitely say that.
Oh, Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn. I never want to go through that beginning story shit ever again. Holy shit. That story gets so good, but it's not for like 40 hours.
Yeah, mine's probably like Tales of Vesperia or Tales of Symphonia. Just I don't need to do that. I put 100+ hours in those games.
Who's got next one? I think it's you, Sean.
Oh, do you want to take this next one? Or no, is it me? It's me.
Yeah.
Hebrew Lantern writes, "What part of the burger are you?"
On my screen right now, I'm the bun because I'm at the bottom of this call.
The just okay, like the bottom bun. Okay, so you're holding
Yeah, the
everyone up.
bottom specifically.
If I'm going off of like the best part of the burger, I'm the meat.
Yeah. I'm definitely the top bun
What makes you the top bun?
because I have a big ass.
Is that
This is
okay?
literally how I see our call also. John is the top bun on my screen.
It's kind of a Sean sandwich.
Kind of.
So you
Okay.
are the meat. Congratulations.
I would be okay being the pickles as well. I like pickles a lot. I also
love
like onions
pickles.
a lot, but onions can kind of smell sometimes. They make
Yeah.
you cry if you cut them. I don't want to be the onions now that I think about it. I could be the pickles though.
Talk yourself out of being an onion.
Yeah. My dad could bite into an onion like an apple and enjoy himself.
No.
You know, I tried that once and I will never do that again. It was bad.
I think I could do it. I do like onions. I don't think I like onions that much, but I think I could do it.
I would
I mean,
never
you
want
could
to.
do it. You wouldn't want to though, yeah.
You like onions, John?
Hate them.
Okay, then yeah,
I've gotten like sick off of onions before. I forget what specific. I think it's white onions make me sick. I'm okay with red onions.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. What about
Yeah.
caramelized onions?
Hate the taste.
Oh, I think because they don't even really taste like onions in my opinion, but I like caramelized
I don't
onions.
like caramel that much. That's why.
I don't think they taste like
They
caramel.
don't taste
I
the
think
same, but it's just like the
thing.
texture. That one's a texture thing.
Okay, yeah, that's sure. They're definitely slimy. Green
Yeah.
onions are my favorite onions. Chives, let's go.
Okay. Nice. Boko writes, "Hello, Canadians and former Canadians. I'm going to Canada, Toronto area for the first time this Christmas. Any tips for someone traveling international and visiting Canada for the first time?"
I'd like to quickly interject. No one on this call is a former Canadian. By like definition and law, I have a Canadian passport right over there.
But
He
you
literally
do
had
live
to
in the
travel
States
I
most
to
of the
have.
Canada
time.
for one day to
I
do
don't have an
paperwork.
American passport.
I would say get ready for your dollar to give you way more than you expect, especially if you're coming from the U.S.
Well, are they coming from the U.S.?
Let's assume they are.
They are coming from the U.S.
All right.
Yeah, so your dollar's gonna get you more because you basically get an extra 30 cents per dollar. Make sure when you're
I'm gonna say
traveling
get ready for it to be way colder than you expect.
Yeah.
definitely in Christmas. Definitely in Christmas.
Christmas
And
time, like this is gonna be one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can go outside during the day most days, but probably not after like 4 p.m. You probably don't want to go outside after the 4 p.m.
pray there's not an ice storm in Toronto.
Yeah. Toronto
Yeah,
can get
for real.
mad cold. Absolutely.
I would say when you're traveling and entering, make sure you have your passport ready, up to date, signed, all that jazz.
Yeah.
And your ID and stuff like that. Just make sure that you don't get held up at customs. But you do customs here. You don't do it in the States.
Well, you'll do customs in the States on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
You're gonna do customs wherever you.
Oh, on the way
land.
back to the States. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
You'll
yeah.
do both sets of customs in Canada.
No, I think you'll do customs wherever you land.
No. You do to get into the U.S. You do customs in Canada, and to get into Canada, you do
Oh.
customs in Canada.
Oh, I'm trying. Like I just did this flight. Why can't I even remember? I know when I came back from Europe, I did customs in here.
Yeah.
That took almost 2 hours, and
It's
sucked.
different for other countries. Canada's one of the few that has like a you do both in Canada.
Okay. All right. Okay, things to do in Toronto. I'm trying to think. Like, have I been to Toronto more recently than you guys? I went 2 years ago.
Very likely.
Okay.
I went like 10 years ago, so yeah, probably.
Okay. The TIFF is there, so there's the TIFF Museum if you're a fan of like legendary movie theaters. So that was kind of cool. I liked that. A lot of the stuff we did was kind of outdoorsy, like walking around. Like we took a ferry to the island that's in the water, but you probably won't want to do that, or probably can't do that. I doubt the ferries are running because it was the summertime. There's the is it the CN Tower? Is that the Toronto Tower?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, you can go to the top of that if that might be of interest to you.
You might be able to catch a hockey game. Not if you're on directly on Christmas, but like there might be a Maple Leafs game going on.
Yeah, that might be worth doing if you're even if you're not a hockey fan, just to like, it's the equivalent of like when I'm in Europe, it's like, oh, I'll go to a soccer football game just because it's so much different than here,
Yeah.
and you'll kind of get that with hockey. Again,
You want to
bring
be
a
part of the
sweater.
ride, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do some
yeah,
looting.
That's Vancouver and
Sure.
Montreal.
Yeah, no kidding.
See if there's any concerts going on, because Toronto usually gets the most concerts out of anywhere in Canada.
Just trying to think. You are picking kind of like the most like American city.
You're basically picking Toronto, like Canada's New York. So
Well, I don't know about that. New York's kind of its own thing.
I know, but like it's the closest
close to New York.
equivalent I can think of.
Sure, it's our biggest city, so you are just kind of getting a city. There's this one nice square that was kind of decorated. I'm seeing, I do have a picture. I'm just trying to see if it gives me the name of it. Maybe I'll Google it instead.
Also, as a
Young
side note,
Dundas
if you're not
Square
part of
is
the
probably worth
Discord,
walking around and seeing some stuff for sure.
go ask in the Discord. There's people that live in Toronto that could give you like specific things, probably.
I think people even did when this question was first announced. But
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, you're picking some people from the West Coast about a city that's more on the East Coast. So
Yeah. All right. Dad writes in and says, "What is the best $10 or $20 you've ever spent?" I spent $10 or $20 to get Chrono Trigger, Earthbound.
Wow.
Maybe Super Castlevania 4. I think I had to trade that for the Earthbound. But yeah, I got like a dumb, insane deal for like $5 or $10 each from the same kid. He was selling all these like now rare SNES games, and like a Sega Genesis with a Sega CD in box.
You ripped this guy off.
I told him like he tried to trade it into EB Games
Okay.
in like 2006.
Oh, just real quick, people are asking about food recommendations for Toronto. You don't need to go to Tim Hortons. It's nothing special. Like
It's
all
in the
my American
States
friends,
too, so again, not a big deal.
but all my American friends when they go there, they're like, "We're gonna go to Tim Hortons," and I'm like, "You why? There's no need. It's not." And like, you can get poutine anywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a crazy, unique, special thing. We don't in at least in Calgary, no one treats it special in Calgary.
Unless you go to a poutineery, like, those are real good.
Did you guys like grow up being like, here we go, Canadian tradition, guys, we're having a real Canadian meal. Here's poutine. I didn't.
I mean, I don't like gravy, so I never really had poutine for the longest time.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm not a huge gravy person either. So, okay, best $10 to $20 I've ever spent. There was this sandwich shop in Barcelona earlier this year. The sandwiches were like $5. It was stupid huge. I loved it so much because European sandwiches suck. They're so bad. For whatever reason, Europeans think butter is a condiment. So it's like, here's your sandwich. It's a baguette. It's a hard baguette. It's some meat and butter and maybe some cheese on it just because we wanted to dry it out even more. Enjoy your sandwich. And like, as far as I'm concerned, that's 2 middle fingers. So this sandwich was awesome. I'm going to get the name of it because I'm sure people are going to be like, how can you not drop the name?
For all those people that go to Barcelona.
I'm sure at some point maybe someone will go to Barcelona. You should. Barcelona's a cool city. So give me a minute while Paul answers.
I don't have an answer. I don't know. I don't care.
You've never spent $10 to $20 on something?
No, I have never spent $10 to $20 on anything.
That's impressive.
Or
really
Honestly,
sad
these
because of
days, if you
inflation.
could find anything that's only $10 to $20, you're doing pretty good. But yeah, I just can't think of an answer. It's probably also food related of some sort.
Okay, I found the sandwich. Here's what the sandwich looks like.
That's a
Okay.
big sandwich.
What was great is there was sauce on it. Like, let's go.
Sauce is pretty good. I agree.
Trying to zoom in on this. There's a long line for it, so get ready for that, but it's worth it. Oh, it's not telling me the name of the sandwich. Okay, I can tell you that there is a cocktail bar across the street called Strange Cocktail Bar. So if you look that up, then you go across the street, that's where the sandwich shop is. But
My God.
this map won't tell me the sandwich shop name, it'll tell me other spots. Anyway, hopefully that helps someone out.
You're up. Last question.
Me?
Yep.
Okay, Phantom Aegis. Sony is celebrating the 30th anniversary with limited edition hardware. Alongside it, Astrobot is a focus on celebrating legacy software seen in the company's history. As we look back on memory lane, what are some fond memories you had with the very first PlayStation console?
Playing through Metal Gear Solid at my sister's place.
Oh
Okay.
man. Um. Okay. Let me think. I guess like the first one is we rented one because they were brand new and like we didn't know like any games for it or whatever, and we didn't get a memory card with it. I've talked about this before, and that's why like to this day, like the first Resident Evil, Parappa the Rapper, a handful of other games, I had to play like roguelites where you just beat it in one go because I couldn't save. So like that was kind of weird going from like, oh, you can save games on the cartridge or whatever to this new thing where I don't know how the hell I can save my progress. So I guess I'm playing this until I
You
finish
didn't have a
it.
memory card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some games back then used to give you a password instead, but yeah.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII was a big one. A lot of the original Tony Hawk. That was a big one as
Yeah.
well.
Tony
That
Hawk,
was N64
huge.
for me, so.
Sure.
I remember I got mine used from a pawn shop, and it had a Gran Turismo sticker on it, and I never liked that series, but it still has that sticker on it.
Playing through Devil May Cry 1 for the first time and then getting so into that series overall.
Isn't that PS2?
As PS2,
That's
but
PS2.
oh yeah, very first. Sorry, I missed that part. I was just saying PlayStation in general.
So if we're going PS2, I got way more memories on the PS2 than the PS1.
Yeah.
I got a boxing video game for Christmas from my stepmom's now ex-daughter-in-law. I guess it was from her son as well. Anyways, that game sucked. Definitely
Okay.
confirmed I don't like boxing games.
Sure. Yeah.
Going back to the PS1, I remember playing through Final Fantasy VII like a step at a time every time I went to my cousin's place. So basically, it took me like 2 years to play through Final Fantasy VII.
Sure, yeah.
Nice.
It might have been the first game I ever like got the guide for.
Hmm.
And I only got it because I don't remember how I got the guide, but I got the game because my mom just like went into the games store, which is probably the EB Games we ended up working at because I was near our house, and she said, "What game are people into right now?" And they said Final Fantasy VII, so that's how I ended up with that.
Nice. Cool.
Nice.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you would like to send questions for a future show, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, Blue Sky, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
I gotta remember everything I played. Astrobot, I guess. Maybe Dead Rising.
Yeah, it's definitely Dead Rising for me. DRDR.
Dirter.
And I'm going to give it to Prince of Persia, Lost Crowns, Mask of Darkness DLC.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.